What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look at a couple of new red Digimon cards. A couple new red Digimon have gone and been revealed, so we need to go and have a look at them. And we might as well start off with the one that just got revealed this morning. It is the kind of mysterious but kind of interesting looking Hackmon. And this one looks like a very, very good card. When you play it, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and add up to 2 Digimon whose names contain Hackmon, Jesmon, or Systemon to your hand. And this is good. This is very good. We've seen this over and over again, right? It's a pretty popular ability that we see in Digimon, which is something along the lines of, when you play this from your hand, look at the top so many cards of your deck and find a particular thing. And sometimes we see 1 and sometimes we see 2. Getting 2 here is absolutely brilliant and we are huge, huge fans. Now, obviously it pushes you towards this particular style of deck. If you don't want to be playing a bunch of Hackmon, Jesmon and Systemon, this is probably not going to be for you. But if you do, you are good. Now, I never actually mentioned the stats here, which I usually start off with, so let's kind of circle back now. 3 cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2,000 power. Absolutely standard for a level 3 of a decent skill. But it's only a 3 cost to play normally, and that's pretty big. And bearing in mind, Hackmon can get you Hackmon. So this can escalate or snowball, or whichever phrase you want to use, pretty gosh darn quickly. Play a Hackmon, grab a Hackmon and a Systemon, play that Hackmon, get a Hackmon and a Jesmon, play that Hackmon, and so on and so forth. And sure, you're not always going to find them in the top 5 cards of your deck. That's not the point. The point is that there is a lot here that we can start getting a little bit excited about. You are going to be able to draw a lot of that stuff very, very quickly. Now, this is the only Hackmon we've seen so far. Jesmon we haven't actually seen, but we have seen a couple of Systemon, and they are Systemon Blank and Systemon Noir. Incidentally, this is why it's so important. It is names containing, not Digimon called, because we don't have a Digimon called Systemon, but we do have 2 Digimon called Systemon Blank and Noir, and they can be grabbed here. Shout out to the lovely folks at digimoncard.dev for the translated proxies. And these looked like really good cards the other day, and what we've essentially got now is extra context to make them look so much cooler. Systemon Blank, when you play it, you draw a card. That's a good skill we've seen before. But on all turns, yours and your opponents, when you have a Digimon with Hackmon in its name or a Digimon with Royal Knight in its type, all of your Digimon with Systemon gain blocker. And this is huge for several reasons. I mean, firstly, if we go and take an actual look at Royal Knights, it's not exactly quite as fast as you might like. I mean, in terms of Royal Knights, we're talking about level 6s and 7s. We're talking things like Omnimon and Ulforce Vidramon, things of that nature. Well, yeah, they're all level 6s and 7s. Which means that if you want to get blocker, you've got to get all the way up to a level 6/7. And we all should know by that stage that that's not something which is a given. That's not an easy thing to do. Getting a level 3 in play? Yeah, that is significantly easier. It means that you can basically have a bunch of Systemon down, and they're all going to have blocker as long as you've got your level 3 Hackmon, which incidentally will help you to search out your Systemon as well, and it just keeps getting cooler. As for Systemon Noir, on all turns, your Digimon with Hackmon in their name or Royal Knight get an extra 2,000 power, and when you play it, you gain a memory. Now, clearly this is great for your level 6s and 7s, because it's going to break the power tie with other 6s and 7s. But actually, it turns Hackmon into a 4,000 power level 3. Now, that's still not good. But actually, when you see that your average level 3 is 3,000 power, and the ones with good skills tend to be 2,000 power, then all of a sudden going from 2 to 4 is actually kind of big. It basically makes Hackmon into well, into a kind of a rookie counter. It means Hackmon can sit there and start picking off rookies. And that in itself is kind of big, because you don't want Hackmon attacking the stack. Because if Hackmon attacks the stack, then Hackmon is almost certainly going to get deleted. You got 2,000 power, let's not go silly. And you need Hackmon out in order to give all of your system on blocker with system on blank. And this just combos beautifully. If you don't want to play these system on, then Hackmon becomes a whole bunch worse. But if you do, it becomes full on amazing. It is also worth pointing out we haven't seen Jesmon yet. And that is going to make a difference. We've seen Hackmon, we've seen 2 Systemon, but we know there is at least, at the very minimum, one more Digimon in this set, there has to be, that is going to interact with this. And that could change everything all over again. We don't know, but there is absolutely a possibility that we see Jesmon and we're like, oh my goodness, that's even better. It is really something we need to keep an eye on here, ladies and gentlemen, because this could be an absolute powerhouse. And of course, I'm just talking about this set. There could be more Systemon, more Hackmon, more Jesmon, etc. as we go through. Things are getting very, very interesting. I'm going to give this 4 Wassies for the time being, but bear in mind, we don't have the full story. It looks a whole lot better, but we don't have the full story, and when we do, we could be kind of adjusting our opinion up even more. But there is one other red Digimon that's gone and been revealed that we haven't had a look at yet. It is Shoutmon. Now, Shoutmon here has got the same stats. 3 cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2,000 power. Absolutely standard for a level 3 of a decent skill. And there is an inheritable skill here that reads, when you attack, if this Digimon has advance, draw 1 card. Cool. And this is kind of interesting to me, because this reminds me very, very much of a Digiek. That's what I think when I think about this. Because, honestly, it is very specific. If you are playing this in a deck that's playing advance and is red, it's great. Otherwise, it's absolute trash. Now, honestly, the biggest issue here is the other Shoutmon. Because the other Shoutmon, if this Digimon has advantage, gets 2,000 power. I think I'd prefer drawing a card, but the other Shoutmon's got the awesome ability where when you play it, you reveal 5 cards on the top of your deck and add 1 Digimon with Shoutmon in its name and 1 Digimon with advance into your hand. So I think maybe I like the other Shoutmon a bit more. Except it's not actually that simple. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, if you're playing this kind of deck, play them both. Play 4 of the Shoutmon from BT5 and 4 of the Shoutmon from BT6 and you'll be good. For anyone wondering, the full list of ones with advance is the Z Greymon from BT5 and Shoutmon DX from BT5. They are the red Digimon that have advance. Although, it is worth pointing out we also have Omnimon from BT5 that isn't red, but can Digivolve from red, and that is a good thing. Also, as a side note, advance is at 1 whereby when you Digivolve into it, you can attack even if it would push the memory to your opponent. And obviously advance is a one-time deal, but we've seen from rulings already, even though you can only use advance the turn you Digivolve up, the Digimon is always considered to have advance, even if it's already Digivolved and can't use it anymore. And if you're playing this kind of deck, this is great. Now, we should remember that Omni Shoutmon can Digivolve from a level 3 Shoutmon for 4 memory, which is pretty awesome, and give security attack +1 to a Digimon with advance. And Z Greymon, as well as having advance, says that when your Digimon attacks with advance, it can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, which is very, very cool. So, it's really simple. This Shoutmon is amazing in a Shoutmon deck. It is absolutely brilliant, awesome, wonderful. You are definitely going to want to play it. Outside of that deck, no. It's clearly not good enough because it just turns into a vanilla Digimon with uninspiring stats. As it stands at the moment, if you're playing Advance in red, it has got to be the Shoutmon line. But there's no guarantee that that is going to be the case forever. It is absolutely possible that at some point in the future, we get more of this. We get more red Digimon with Advance, and when we get more red Digimon with Advance, things get even more interesting. So, again, I'm giving this 4 Wassies, because it's an awkward one, right? Because essentially, in a Shoutmon deck, it is absolutely brilliant, and I can't imagine not playing a 4 of. Outside of a Shoutmon deck, it is absolute trash, and I cannot imagine playing it even as a fun little one-off, even if I'm a really big fan of the card. It is very much either flat out phenomenally, brilliantly, awesomely great, or no one's ever going to play it. And there really is no middle ground here. Hey-ho. I want to know if you want to play these Shoutmon decks. I want to know what you think about these new cards, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far, the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassie Plays.